Flood giving Hugh Doherty a rev up, saying, you're letting the team down, mate. You've got to win this.
Naomi Flood won the Telstra at women's, but this is the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman round 3. The really big, fit boys, and they're going to need to be today because you can see those swell lines coming in on the horizon. As the tide drops, it'll start to be really tough conditions. And the ski leg, I heard today a few of the boys told me, whatever you do, if you come off your ski, you need to hold on to it.
You do. If you lose your ski, being at the fastest craft, swimming is not a great option to get around the course. You can swim around the course if you've got a damaged ski, but certainly you're going to go a lot slower. That's Wes Berg on screen there as he pumps his way out. To the right side as we look out, that's the rip out there. So a lot of the guys will be going to the right, Phil, to get that free right out the back.
Ali Day there's punched out to the right. I explained that before, how the rip's moving out a lot faster. Ali's got a dream run in position one. He's moved straight up to the lead.
Great start by Ali Day. Weather and water conditions so important. Ella Bachet, SPF 50. You've got to get that stuff on at the beach at Portsea. Hayden Quinn, you've got plenty of it slapped on.
I sure do, Howie. The sun has come out a bit stronger now. Those clouds have cleared. The wind is still fairly strong, running about 20 kilometres an hour. And the boys punching through those big waves. Awesome stuff out there today. That's what we like to see at Ironman racing.
And you can see straight away, Ali Day was leading. He came off. He managed to hold back on. Tommy Atkinson pushed back towards the beach. Tibbetts is trying to battle, as is Wes Berg. Look how tough it is for these boys early at Portsea. Trev, it's really been a testing start for the boys.
I think Ali Day would say the conditions are perfect out here. Got a great little start, 18.5 degrees in the water, swell about 1.5 meters. And I thought it was waning, Nick and boys, but I think the swell's actually still building a little bit. One that got a bad start, Hugh Doherty, now in the middle of the pack. Perfect conditions for racing. Portsea's turned it on for the boys.
Well, thanks to Ella Bachet, sun protection 50 plus, 1.3 to 1.5 metre swell out there. Trev, I noticed as well, one that I think will be very much in the play today is Kai Hurst. His yellow ski there sitting in third at the moment.
Yeah, Hursty looking strong, actually right next to Wade Krieger. And looking at the back, Alex Tibbetts had a bad start, Chris Moores, Tommy Trenbath back where he's not used to, and Matt Poole got a bad start. But the boys look so strong. I tell you what, Ali Day looked really impressive in his warm-up, and he's my pick for today. I think this might be Ali's day, pardon the pun.
There you go. Well, I'm going to go Kai Hurst today. Clyde, who are you looking at?
Yeah, I think Kai had a great race here last year. I'm going to jump on the same bandwagon. I think when the last swim comes up, that's going to be very special.
And Nick?
I want to say Kai as well. I think Matt Poole's pretty determined out there as well. We'll see whether or not these conditions suit him.
And Howie, who do you like today?
Shannon Eckstein for mine, a man that never makes mistakes. And after I pick the women's, so I'm pretty happy with where I'm sitting.
We all pick the women's.
Well, one of the fantastic things we've been able to do, Phil, is to track some speeds and get some fastest times, some averages of the athletes out there in the Telstra tracker for the fastest start.
Yeah, it certainly is. Today we've got Ali Day, who was on the right-hand side when he started there. He had the fastest with 24.5 on the Telstra tracker, and now, obviously, after his fastest start, he's out there in front. Another note is there, South African Wade Kruger in fourth spot. Great to see him up front. He's an amazing, amazing ski paddler, sir.
He's not just an amazing ski paddler. He looks like he could break one of those skis over his arm. He's a massive unit, Phil.
He certainly is. He's a big boy. He loves to train hard, and he knows how to do the right things. And I just had a chat with him prior to this race, and I said today the goal for you is to not switch off, you know, try and stick in with these guys and have a great race.
Well, the tide is dropping. We had a high tide during the women's race today. Is dropping down to a low tide this evening. So you'll find during the race today, the 3 races, the waves will start to break a little bit more on the bank as the bank gets shallower. So there'll be more opportunity to catch waves as Ali Day is sitting pretty in first place.
He's a wonderful competitor, Ali Day. A couple of weeks ago at Newcastle, he won the first 4 races in the Eliminator. Then Matty Poole came from nowhere to beat him. He came second in the series last year. He's never won a round, and you talk to him, and he doesn't seem fussed, Guy Leach, but geez, he'd love that first round series win.
Let that go on for a bit longer and see if he likes it. You know, I mean, he's good enough, isn't he, Clayton, to win a race, but he's got to do his time. He's got a lot of great athletes around him that are pegging him at the minute. But when you've got that sort of speed in the water, it's not going to take long before he gets across the line.
Not at all, and you can see now we've got Wade Kruger, Kai Hurst on the left of him. We've got Wes Berg, and coming up behind Kendrick Louie, a bloke we don't talk much about. He's been right there all year, and I think he's going to have a great time today.
Always extremely well groomed as well, Kendrick Louie. We'll get a shot of him. Great shots on board of Mitch Miller, battling it away at Portsea as the swell just starts starts to build at the
Here we
back.
go.
And look at Ali Day on that front ski.
Oh,
He's
Ali's
done
in
the hard
trouble
work,
here, Howie.
and he's got to wait for it now.
Now he's in trouble here. He's sitting in a spot where if he takes off late here,
Wade Kruger.
he needs to paddle down this thing because Wade Kruger's on the left of the screen. Ali Day, in his defence, has actually done the right thing on the right-hand side. So Ali Day's on the wave there with the boys. It'll break in a second, and that's when you'll see them paddle furiously. Now,
He's gone sideways.
He's gone sideways. He's slewed sideways. So Kruger has kept going forward. Ali Day's still on.
It's like he's
Brilliant surfing by him.
It's like he's riding a bucking bronco.
What about that from Ali Day? Well called by Guy Leach. He was off, he was on, he was off, he's back on. But Wade Kruger, the big 30-year-old from Durban, takes a nice lead in. What about that for, oh no, it's gone wrong, Phil. Oh, I'm hanging on, I'm still going.
It's fantastic. That's what Portsea's all about. We come down here to get a wave and see those little ones. As we look at Wade Kruger moving in now, strong competitor. This guy hasn't had too many good races this season, so today I think he's going to step right up to the plate. He loves the ski league being the first one.
And importantly, you see him there as he's making the transition, just trying to suck in a bit of air. I mean, that took a lot of effort to do what he just did, and he's trying to just recover in this transition.
At training, they call him Popeye. He sucks the air and it keeps one side of the mouth blown up, so quite a funny one.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, that was a great bit of surfing there from Ali Day, and it was a tough wave to hold. It broke. He caught it late, and so as you'll see as he goes down late, he's on the far side, the right-hand side, and then he slews sideways, legs over the side. That gives him this ability to hang on the wave. He rides it out like a horse and sits in leaning, then he tips himself back up again and back on the wave.
Well, moving through now into the next of the legs, and Wade Kruger takes it around, but then Wes Berg is through there, so he had a really good ski leg as well. Ali Day, as we just saw him in the transition. Kendrick Louis is up there as well. Joshy Minogue, Kai Hurst. Now, the two yellow jerseys was what I was looking for. I was looking for Shannon Eckstein and Matt.
Sitting pretty, Shannon Eckstein, the co-leader, is in 7th, so he's not too far back at the moment. Mitch Miller, who hurt his toe in the last race, cut his toe in 8th. Atkinson having a better race as well. Good to see Nicholson up there, and there's Matt Poole, the co-leader in 11th.
We can go back out to the 6-time Australian Ironman champion, the man that pretty much runs Portsea when he comes down here, Trevor Hendy. Trev, the wind looks like it's dropped off a bit. The sun is shining, but probably not as pleasant out there as it might look on television.
No, not quite. I tell you, it happened a little bit in the girls' race before too, that each time I come out in the jet ski and you have to meet one of the sets, normally you can give it a bit of a throttle and you bounce the ski over the wave and no problems, no water over the top. Portsea, the waves are so deep that the whole wave comes over top and whacks you. So that's what these guys are paddling into on the board and ski and swimming into. So it's really, really challenging. At 4 foot, it's like you're 6 foot on the East Coast. It's a really solid swell. Just got to mention, Wes Berg looking sensational in the first leg, and the ski just looks really confident. And now he's come through and gone to the lead on the board. And as I think Nick or Clado mentioned, someone we don't talk about a lot, Kendrick Louis still just hanging in there. He's doing his time, Kendrick Louis, but he's definitely a superstar of the next couple of years.
He's the best in the business, Trevor Hendy, and the man with the best position all round this weekend is on the beach, Hayden Quinn. H.
Yeah, Howie, it is wonderful down here. And I was just talking to superstar coach Michael King and speaking in regards to Ali Day. And you mentioned he was your pick. It was going to be day of the week. And Ali is looking on fire. We saw from that surf ski start, Michael King reckons this could be his day. He's really put it in. He wants to win, and he wants his first win here at Portsea.
Hayden, we had a quiet drink with Kane Eckstein last night, who won the series last year, and Nicole asked him if he was going to be handling for his brother, and he actually said, oh, he hasn't asked me. He's a bit embarrassed to ask me. There's a strange relationship between those two brothers. They're very close, but also very competitive.
Very, very close brotherhood there. It's I think we were talking, it's almost reminiscent of the old Coolangatta Gold movie that we saw many, many years ago. I'm going to try and find Kane Eckstein and have a few words with him and see what he thinks about his brother's performance.
Great work by Hayden Quinn on the beach, and there is the Telstra Tracker TX Sports. Top speed on a wave, 28.7 kilometres an hour.
That's the winner at the minute.
That is certainly, that's what I told you, blokes. When you move this show down to Victoria, the big surf comes and the action comes, and that's what we're after here. It's a great day at Portsea. It's a 4-foot swell. The boys are being tested. This is the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman Series Round 3.
Into this board in 7th place. You can see him now challenging for outright 3rd. That's him wearing the yellow jersey. He's to the left of screen as we see Wes Berg. Now, we've been talking about how great Wes has been going, but in talking to him on the beach, the one thing he's not looking forward to is the swim. He sees this as a very long swim here in Portsea, and he's a fan of the short swim.
He's just got such a great board feel in the water. He just looks like he's such a natural on the board. There's Shannon Eckstein who's moved up, but Wesley Berg, yeah, he'll need a bit of a lead going to that last swim leg because he's got a couple other guys in there that aren't as good as him. But in saying that, they've just cracked a wave now, so that gives him a good break on a few of the other guys.
And it'd be fair to say at every athlete briefing, Wes puts his hand up and says, can we shorten the swim? And as the boys start to move onto the waves, there's a nice wave out the back. Look at Wes Berg just enjoying the ride along there. And the boys, Kendrick Lewis, Shannon Eckstein's on one as well. There's a nice set coming out the back, Phil.
Yeah, Wes and Kendrick on the first wave. We look back at Shannon and Wade Kruger. Fantastic to see the South African up there with these guys. He's very talented. I know I've spoken about him a lot, but it's wonderful to have an international person mixing it up.
Phil, who coaches Wade Kruger?
This really shiny-headed guy on the Gold Coast, a good mate of mine, Phil.
Who has won a few races at Portsea in his past.
Yeah, as Kendrick and Wes work their way up into the chute right now, the special part of the race, making sure you get off your board nice and clean. Wes just about to jump in, perfect spot for him. Hopefully he can jump on Shannon's feet and get a free ride round for the swim.
Had a double shoulder reconstruction 5 years ago, Big Wade. He was just training too hard in the gym field. The weights were just too big and too heavy. Had to refine the technique as the rest of the boys start to pump it now. Kai Hurst, Ali Day in the middle of that shot. Mitch Miller as well. They're getting the goggles on. The accountant, Tommy Atkinson. As they're coming out onto the swim leg, this is the first of 3 races in the triple sprint.
Very important here again. We've got the rip down to the west there to see who actually goes right down. Howie and I had a chat. We were down on the beach having a look as we look at Matt Poole coming up there with Joshy Minogue and Hugh Doherty a little bit further behind. Now, there's a little bank halfway between that rip. If you can either go left-hand side of it or right-hand side of it, there's a very sucky little wave. As long as you keep away from that, you're going to get a free ride.
Well, we found in the women's race, didn't we, that if you can crack one of those waves coming in the swim, it makes such a huge difference. We saw Harley Bader do that. And, you know, skills come in really in the swim leg. And being this the last leg, don't just think because there's a couple in front that they're going to be the ones that win the day.
Well, as the boys make their way out on the swim, the big movers from that board leg, as we spoke about with Shannon Eckstein, he moved up 7 positions from the ski leg to the board leg. So he is there lurking. He is Mr. Consistency when he's on his game, isn't he? Kendrick Louis as well moving up 4 places. And Mitch Miller.
3-time Australian junior Ironman champion, the man leading. If that tide starts dropping, those waves will really start popping up. He's been seen as a future champion of this sport, 22 years of age from Mona Vale in New South Wales. He had that horrific knee injury where he did all sorts of damage to his knee in Perth last year. As the waves start to come out, and we can see the boys pushing everything to get on them now. And there he is, Kendrick Louis. He's thrown himself on the front. Needs to keep going. Needs to keep rigid.
So he's getting his head down, making sure he gets to the front of the way. He'll take a breath now. Takes his head down again. He's going to work this all the way to the shore. He's done a great bit of body surfing, getting all this weight in his shoulders so he can push forward on the wave. This will take him all the way in. This is the first win in the first race.
What a wave for Kendrick Louis. He's gone 60, 70, 80 plus metres and he's got a good lead.
And nobody else has caught a wave yet.
Brilliant, brilliant. So the clock will start 10 minutes rest when he gets to the shore. So he should run fast and make sure that clock starts.
Big bomb just exploding out the back as well. But it's not a problem for Kendrick Louis as the rest of the trying to get on top of that big wave to try and make up some position. You can see the head scattered trying to hold on. But Kendrick Louis, this has been a great performance.
So he's going to win by a long way, but the question is, where are the rest of the competitors? All important points, 3 races today. This is the first race. Kendrick Louis takes first place, 1 point, but there's so many other competitors coming in, and there's lots of waves.
This is the triple sprint, so as a leader, you get 1 point. The overall lowest winner is Kai Hurst. He just slides into a wave. Meanwhile, Kendrick Louis, the man that blew out a knee in Perth, was concerned about his future. He's back, he's in business, and he wins the first round, Kendrick Louis. Great start to him, that's 1 point, but Kai Hurst, and there's a couple of blokes riding him pretty heavily on the punt in this box, are reasonably happy with his form.
He's up.
Because Kai Hurst, he's a wonderful swimmer. He'll be across the line in second. And what about Wes Berg? A wonderful performance by Wes, but well done to Kai Hurst. That's a great start to him.
Exactly. It's about consistency of points as well. The lower the points, the better. So Kai taking out second place, 2 points for him. So it is a triple sprint. There are 2 more races to go. We see the professor pop out to take
Where
third.
did he
Just
come
does it from nowhere.
He was underwater.
People don't need to talk about him. They don't have to watch him because he's always there. And the Professor Shannon Eckstein slides into third. And well done to Westberg. Always starts the events well. It'll be interesting to see whether he can continue through. A man that Leachy told us to keep an eye for. Hugh Doherty also very good. Ali Day back in seventh. A little bit disappointed after a wonderful ski start. Our equal leader, Matt Poole, Mitchie Miller, Wade Krieger, Tom Atkinson and Trembath rounded out. And Hayden is on the beach, continuing to chase down our competitors.